My father has been making fun of LeBron James recently because Nike's got a new ad here in which they celebrate second place. Almost is heroic and noble, according to Nike. Imagine if LeBron came home to Cleveland. Imagine if the team struggled early but finished the regular season strong. Imagine if their big man went down but they still found a way to power through the Eastern Conference. We're talking about Verjao there, right? Because Nike consulted with LeBron and he didn't want to give Kevin Love any credit. Imagine if they faced the top seed in the finals. Imagine if they pushed game 1 to overtime but lost another star to injury. Imagine if everyone counted them out. Imagine if they shocked the world and took the next 2 games. Imagine if fatigue caught up with them and they lost games 4 and 5. Imagine if they defied odds, logic, and the basketball gods to come back and win the series in 7. Except this isn't Hollywood. It's Cleveland. Nothing is given. Everything is earned. Just do it. Syrupy nonsense. Written by a 4th grade intern at Nike. All of this. I just can't believe Nike's got a good marketing department. Nike's got a good sneaker campaign. This is just sugary, syrupy nonsense. Nike telling you second place is good enough. Second place is where it's at. Almost is who we are. Just do it. Finish second, so my dad's not having any of it.
Imagine if you still cared about efficiency. Imagine all the backstrains you will get attempting to catch those awful alley-oop passes from Matthew de la Vedova. Imagine if Alonso Mourning never taught you to act like a man at Dwayne Wade's wedding. Imagine if Black could coach as well as he thinks. Imagine Andrew Wiggins. Imagine all those happy Somali kids wearing their No Calf 2015 NBA Champs t-shirts. Imagine eating a snow cone in February. Imagine if billboards in Akron weren't so readily available. Imagine if there was an island that acted as a habitat for an array of genetically engineered dinosaurs.
What?
Imagine everyone in the audience in their underwear.
Why?
Imagine if the only thing Cleveland has earned is 3 #1 draft picks in the last 5 years.
Okay, there are a couple of random ones in there every time that I don't really understand how they get in there, but Jurassic World was a record-setting movie, so there you have it. Jurassic World, you saw that, right? Record-setting.
I saw that it's record-setting. I haven't seen the movie yet.
No movie has ever opened the way Jurassic World did,
right,
which may or may not explain why there were genetically altered dinosaurs and an island in that particular one. Do we have a better one than that?
Imagine if you didn't settle for jumpers. Imagine if Danny Green stayed hot. Imagine having to explain to Udanos Haslam face to face why you left Miami. Imagine if Black had the to challenge you like Spo did. Imagine if your acting in the Trainwreck trailer wasn't more stiff than a Steve Nash back. Imagine if I practiced safe sex. Imagine if Mike Miller's monkey never went on a dog ride around the neighborhood. Imagine if you didn't cost your BFF Wade millions of dollars while making you not so BFF Bosch an extra $30 million. Imagine if Jason Kipnis could get half as many All-Star votes as Omar Infante. Imagine if there was an army of dolphins with machine guns strapped to them. Imagine ending your social media blackout to like a perfect booty on Instagram.
Stupid. Speaking of which, do you have that Mike Miller story so we could give some context to the audience? Like, imagine someone just tuning in. Imagine someone just tuning in and being like, what was that about Mike Miller? What?
You're saying some of these lines don't exactly fit into the...
No, well, some of this stuff doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but here's some context for you on that Mike Miller story.
I'll give you a great story. We go, me and my wife, at the time I'm in Orlando, Florida, we go to dinner, and we put Sonny up in his room and we put our dogs outside. And we get a call about an hour later from some of our neighbors telling me that my dogs and my monkey are walking around the neighborhood. my monkey ended up getting out of his room, let my dogs in the house and out. I came home and he was riding my Great Dane down the sidewalk.
He was on the back of him?
Yeah, needless to say, I wasn't a favorite in the neighborhood anymore.
Such a great story.
Well, I'm glad we played it because we have some texters who are asking, Mike Miller has a monkey?
He had a monkey before that story. He had to get rid of the monkey. There was also one line in there that was particularly jarring among all the other lines, and I felt it was a tad personally hurtful.
Imagine if I practice safe sex. Imagine if I practice safe sex. Imagine if I practice safe sex.
I don't know why you guys did that to me.
Imagine if I practice safe sex.
All of it's unpleasant. all of it, because now I have to imagine my father. And
imagine if I practice safe sex.
Yeah, tough visual.
And you've eradicated me. And or my brother. Unnecessarily, I might add.
Imagine if Jason Kipnis could get half as many All-Star votes as Omar Infante.
I don't understand wwhy that was in there.
No, I do.
What do you mean you understand that?
I'm confused on imagine if Danny Green stayed hot.
Why?
That one last title. Yeah.
He was really good through 5 games. Okay.
Just an unbelievably cruddy ad by Nike. Just terrible. My father does better.
Imagine if David Blatt was granted that timeout. Imagine if you didn't vomit on the front of your uniform in the 2011 finals. Imagine if you didn't work for an owner who wrote what sounded like a runaway slave manifesto. Imagine seeing a woman in Cleveland in a bikini. Imagine Joe Johnson making more than you. Imagine if you didn't have police escorts driving you down the wrong side of the road to get you to a Jay-Z concert you were late for, because there are never any consequences for your actions. Imagine how useful Gmail's unsent email feature is going to be. Imagine if anyone could understand me without subtitles. Imagine if you weren't so insecure. Imagine if Pat Riley had not covered up for you that time you murdered a drifter.
What?
Imagine all the things my son has tried to make me say about you this year that he cannot say because he still thinks he's a journalist.
That's an unfair accusation. That last one was unfair. The one before that was more fair than the last one. Mark Stein knows about that drifter that Pat Riley covered up, that dead drifter. What else you got, Mike? Play another one.
Imagine someone saying they're the best player in the world and then watching the other team win the championship on his home floor 1 game later. Imagine how much more you could have gotten Dan Gilbert to do. Imagine if you really ate McDonald's. Imagine what happened to the 20,000 slings the Cavs wanted to give away to support Kevin Love. Imagine if you had a spine. Imagine Kendrick Perkins overseeing the construction of many Egyptian pyramids because he looks like a pharaoh. Imagine if you really drove a Kia. Imagine me and my hatred with my hands cupped around my eyes, staring into your house right now. Imagine if you spend more time working and less time imagining. Imagine if the decision was really about raising money for the Boys and Girls Club. Imagine how grateful we are for this ad, which has provided us content relief in what is typically a slow time in the sports world.